The following is a presentation of the World Baseball Classic.
Shohei Ohtani, 1 of 1.
¡Siéntate! Lo retrata sin sonrisa.
Gone! George has arrived. Good night now. Santa Maria. High and deep and gone. World Baseball Classic. You get it all.
Good evening from Houston. Last night in Pool B, it's Italy and it's Mexico for a spot in the quarterfinals. And the crowd, well, you got Italy, you've got Mexico, high spirits, incredible upset last night for Italy taking down USA. And Mexico's fans are back in number and in high spirits. Pool play coming to a close. Canada, Puerto Rico are coming to Houston for the quarterfinals. Japan, Korea, Venezuela, the Dominican, all in Miami for those quarterfinals. Scenarios here. Look, whoever wins this game is in. The United States can sneak in if Italy wins or if Italy allows 5 or more runs in a 9-inning loss. Check, check. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz, along with Dan Plesac. John Morosi joins us later. Forget about the math. That's what both managers told us. This is a play-in game for Italy and Mexico.
And I think coming into Pool B play, I think both teams, any team wanted to be able to control their own destiny. Italy can do that with a win, and Mexico can do that with a win.
Both sides have a quality Major League starter going here tonight. Javier Assad going for Mexico. Aaron Nola, man, he's pitched in a lot of big games in his career.
He certainly has. He's had a storied career with the Philadelphia Phillies. Former first-round draft pick out of LSU. He was a Friday night starter in college, and he's assumed a front-of-the-rotation spot in that Philadelphia Phillies rotation. From 2018 to 2024, a 6-year span, nobody in Major League Baseball threw more innings than Aaron Nola. He's seen just about everything, and this is the biggest game for Team Italy in a while.
And of course, Assad was terrific for the Cubs in limited action last year, but he has plenty of international success.
He was very good in the first game against Great Britain. 3 2/3 scoreless baseball. He's pitched very well in WBC action.
Yes, and he takes aim at Italy, suddenly the darlings of the entire WBC. Assad gets the ball, makes his 4th WBC appearance. Nola and Assad getting loose. What a night for Italy last night. A seismic jolt to the baseball world. And with more, John Morosi. John?
Rich, thank you very much. Last night, Marco Mazzieri, the Italian Federation president, told me that what transpired was un miracolo dello sport, a sports miracle. If Italy wins tonight, it'll be somewhat less surprising considering the history between these two teams in the Classic. 2013, Italy rallies for 2 runs in the 9th inning on a young Anthony Rizzo's double. Jason Grilli closed it out. 4 years later in Mexico, Italy rallies for 5 runs in the 9th inning without Mexico recording an out to win. Rich, what happened here last night caught the attention of Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who addressed it in Parliament today to cheers from both sides of the aisle. The Italian saying when you can't wait for something is non vedo l'ora, which literally means I can't see the hour. Well, very soon we will. It is just past midnight in Rome, just past 6 p.m. here in Houston. The eyes of the baseball world are upon us. 3 teams in contention for 2 spots in the quarterfinal. High drama at the World Baseball Classic. The first pitch is next.
arriving. A little earlier start tonight, 6 o'clock Houston time. But we've seen enough of these three teams, Mexico, Italy, and the U.S., to know it's so tight right now. But these are the two teams that control their destiny, Dan Plesette.
Yeah, I think a lot of the World Baseball Classic fandom was shocked last night. Team Italy pulled off that shocker, beating Team USA 8-6. This is a huge game for both teams. You put it simply, you control your own destiny. If you're Italy, you win and you're in. And if you're Mexico, you're in and you win. A very uncomfortable spot for Team USA, having to rely on some help to get into the final part of this pool.
Francisco Cervelli's lineup. Italy's 3-0. Sam Antonacci elevated to the leadoff spot. John Birdie's been good in the 2 slot. Jacob Marcy now hitting third. Vinnie Pasquantino still looking for his first hit of the Classic. Zach DeZenzo, the DH. From this spot down, they were huge last night. Jack Caglione. Andrew Fisher, the youngster, gets a start at third. J.J. Durazio is the catcher. And Dante Nori is in the 9 spots. Javier Assad, what are we looking for?
Yeah, this guy's more of a pitch to contact guy, Rich. He pitched in game 1 against Great Britain, and he was really good. 3 2/3 scoreless innings, walked 1, struck out a couple. In his day job, he pitches for the Chicago Cubs, a strike thrower. Good fastball and a 4-seamer. He'll get it up there between 92 to 96 miles an hour. His job, attacked the strike zone early. Remember, in this round, 65 pitches, the limit per starter.
Italy's night last night, just an incredible ride, jumping off to an 8-0 start. Antonacci homered in a 3-homer assault early. And of course, USA came storming back, and it came down to Aaron Judge at the plate. Greg Weissert struck out Judge, and here is Italy at 3-0, Mexico at 2-1. Assad's second start here in Houston, and a fastball swung on and missed.
Good fastball from Assad, 94, 95 miles an hour. That's about what he'll top out at. More of a pitch to contact guy.
A lot of lefty bats in this Italy lineup.
You're always a little bit under the gun as a starter with that pitch total at 65. You try to make your pitches as economical as you can. Last night, Michael Lorenzen did a terrific job for Team Italy, 4 2/3, right at that limit at 65 pitches.
Got him. Change up. 1 out. John Birdie now. One note about Italy's lineup. Kyle Teal last night had a big night with the bat, but pulled his hamstring and he's out. They have replaced him. Birdie goes after the first pitch and pops it foul.
Boy, if you're manager Benji Heel, you like what you see so far from Assad. Attacking the strike zone. Has a good fastball and he's not afraid to use it.
Oh, 2. Mickey Gasper added to the Mexico roster, Major League catcher for the Twins. He's the backup, with J.J. Durazio getting the start behind the plate. And Birdie is behind in the count, 0-2. He's 3 for 9 in the Classic.
Big sweeper from Assad. He's got a good assortment of pitches. You can see why the Cubs are so high on this guy. They think he's going to be a very valuable part of their plans in 2026. Spent some time last year, quite a bit of time on the IL.
Both starters did. Nola as well. An oblique for Assad. And Birdie strikes out. And Assad is hot early.
A guy that pitches with a lot of emotion. He likes to pitch in big spots. He's coming out throwing bullets. That last one, 95, rides the express upstairs.
Jacob Marcy, center field. Been in the leadoff spot a lot, but he's dropped down to the 3 slot for this one. 2 for 12. His first taste of the World Baseball Classic.
Got one of the best catchers in Major League Baseball, Alejandro Kirk, behind home plate for Mexico. Terrific year last year with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Assad's not wasting time or pitches. 10 pitches in, he's 1-2 with 2 outs. Marcy stays alive.
11 pitches thus far from Assad, 9 of them in the strike zone. You're always a little concerned this early in March how sharp your pitchers will be. But any indication early, Assad has brought his A game.
Both managers, Francisco Cervelli, Benji Heel, know they've got a limit of 65, but would love to see their starters somehow get into the 5th inning. 2-2. Pitch is up.
This one maybe a ball up out of the strike zone. Good framing job there by Kirk. Tried to corral that and bring it back down.
And Marcy steps out. Italy beat Great Britain 7-4, shut out Brazil 8-0, and then last night beat USA 8-6. That one fouled at the plate. Mexico wiped out Brazil 16-0. Beat Great Britain 8-2, and then lost to Team USA. They were down 5-0, rallied, but came up short. It was a 5-3 final. Assad strikes out the side. Mexico and Italy for a spot in the quarterfinals of the World Baseball Classic. Jaron Duran in the box. Bottom of the first. Nola strikes just high. It caught the zone, but it's ball 1. Jaron Duran, big in the top of the lineup. 3 homers already. Arozarena, Aranda, Kirk, Meneses, Alvarez, Gonzalez, Thomas, and Ortiz. Joey Meneses getting his first start of the Classic. That one flipped up in the air and out of play. 5 of 10, 3 homers, 5 driven in, 5 runs. Duran has really fueled Mexico's offense.
That's the bread and butter pitch for Aaron Nola, the curveball. Most pitchers pitch off of their fastball. When Aaron Nola is on, the curveball seems to bring the other pitches in play. He'll throw it 2-0, 2-1, 3-2. If he has the curveball, that normally means he's going to pitch some pretty good baseball.
And Nola has a ton of postseason starts, 11 of them, 5-4 with a 3.88. That ERA is almost identical to his career ERA. With 285 big league starts, 3.83. Good sharp breaker, and Duran goes down.
From 2018 to 2024, a 6-year span, nobody pitched more innings than Aaron Nola. There's a good look at that 12-6 curveball. That's his bread and butter, the pitch that he needs. For a lot of pitchers, they pitch off the fastball to control the secondary. Nola's kind of the reverse. If he has the curveball, it makes the 94-95 play up a couple ticks.
Arozarena now. Arozarena starred in 2023. In 2026, he's 2 for 9, hasn't homered, and has an RBI. Benji Heel kind of dismissed a lot of the controversy surrounding Arozarena and Cal Raleigh and the handshake extension by Arozarena and Raleigh refusing to shake hands.
They did meet at the team hotel, though, a couple of days before and exchanged pleasantries.
Absolutely.
Shared some hugs and some handshakes.
Absolutely. It is a bit ironic, though, that Raleigh's destiny in the World Baseball Classic is somewhat in the hands of Arozarena and Team Mexico. One, two.
Aaron Nola trying to move that curveball a little bit further out of the zone. See if he could get some chase from Arozarena.
It's outside. Francisco Cervelli knew that the last 2 games of this pool, he needed his 2 best starters, so he saved them till the end. And Michael Lorenzen was fabulous last night. 4 2/3 shutout, and he's got Nola going against Mexico tonight. 3-2. Got him.
Back to the curveball. The bread and butter pitch for Aaron Nola. Everything works off that curveball. Not afraid to throw it in critical counts. He'll throw it 2-0. He'll throw it 3-2. It makes the rest of his repertoire play up better. Guy has a lot of experience. Has pitched in a lot of big games for the Philadelphia Phillies.
5 hitters to the plate, and they all have gone down swinging. And Aranda takes inside. Aranda coming off an all-star season with the Rays, 27. He's been in the 3 spot. Big home run in game 1 for Mexico.
Nola, no stranger to striking guys out. Go back to a game in 2021 against the Mets. He struck out 10 consecutive Mets.
It's hard for a starting pitcher in this pool with 65 pitches as the limit to win you the game. But if they give up runs, that certainly can lose the game. And I think that's what happened last night to Team USA.
Take a look right there at Michael Lorenzen. Was he terrific last night? 4 2/3 against a very patient Team USA. Wasn't afraid to pound the strike zone.
In the air, well hit. Marcy back at the track, looking up, makes a leap, and it's off the wall. Nori has it. It's a double.
Nori went about as far as you could go. Nola tries to sneak a fastball by Aranda. Lots of nooks and crannies, particularly left center field at Dyken Park.
Good man to have up for Mexico. Alejandro Kirk, one of the toughest to strike out in the big leagues. Hard on the ground. Fisher, the youngster, gets the out. And Nola strands the runner in scoring position. Underway, Mexico, Italy in Houston. Second, Javier Assad struck out all 3 in the first. Vinnie Pasquantino is bunting, and he bunts it foul. That ball's hit pretty well. Right field and deep. Duran back to the wall. He is there. Leaps. And it's gone. Pasquantino doesn't know it. It's 1-0 Italy. He was 0 for 12. He tried to bunt on the first pitch.
Tried to take advantage of Nacho Alvarez, was playing so deep at third. Bunt on the first pitch, and Vinny's been quiet.
And he's the guy that brews the espresso.
Time for a shot of the home brew of espresso.
Got the Armani cup. Pulled foul by DeZenzo. It's Marcy. This was close.
See, Duran gets as close to the wall as he can. Just past the outstretched glove, and a nice barehanded snag by a fan. Another look at it here. Duran goes as far as he could go. Times his jump.
So Italy last night stunned the U.S. with 3 homers early and jumped to an 8-0 lead. And they've homered here in the second.
That short right field wall here at Dyken Park. 2 inviting places to hit home runs. The Crawford box seats and that short wall in right field.
Roller to short. That's Joey Ortiz of the Brewers. And that's the first out of the second. 8 different players have homered for 9 home runs. And one of the things we found out today, Vinny's espresso machine in the corner of the dugout, if you hit a home run, you get an espresso, and they have your number on the machine. So now he gets to put his number on the machine. Those are all the Italian players.
Kind of like the decals you'll see on college football helmets, right?
Yes. Like the Buckeye for Ohio State.
Caglione hit a towering home run last night against Team USA. This guy has tremendous power.
I asked what are the flavors, and the answer was gold and red. I wasn't aware that those were espresso flavors, but that's what they're rolling with. There you go. There's gold. There's red. Which one are you, Dan?
I would probably lend more towards the gold. Just by looking at it, wouldn't seem to be as strong of a taste.
And Assad walks Caglione. Sometimes in the World Baseball Classic, you happen upon a player that you haven't heard a whole lot about. And he opens your eyes with just one swing of the bat. And Andrew Fisher is that guy, the 21-year-old who led the SEC in home runs last year with 25. Smokes one to the second baseman. That's 2. Barreled it up. But Gonzalez got it to Aranda in time. The Italians are on the board. Pasquantino barely out. Vinnie Pasquantino with a solo homer, and that's the start of the last game of Pool B in the World Baseball Classic. Winner is into the quarterfinals. Joey Meneses, the DH, Nacho Alvarez, and Nick Gonzalez will follow. First start for Meneses in the 4 games. Rowdy Tellez has been the DH. Meneses as a pinch hitter and off the bench, though, 2 for 3. Benji Heel going with the hot hand.
A little unconventional, right? You're starting a right-hander, and Meneses says the DH. Rowdy Tellez, a left-handed hitter. I think Benji Heel has liked the at-bats that he's seen from Meneses so far when he's come off the bench. Nola might have gotten a break there. That ball appeared to be about a ball outside the strike zone.
Alex Tosi, home plate umpire. Adrian Johnson at first. David Ariadne's at second. Chun Il-soo out of Korea is at third. 1-2. Swing and a miss.
There's the curveball and another dandy by Aaron Nola. If he has that curveball, he has a chance to really be good. He changes speeds with it. He takes a little bit off. You see he has Meneses out front. Ball has a lot of depth and a lot of break.
Nacho Alvarez, couple hits, a homer. Mexico has shown good pop. They've hit 9 home runs. Durazio working behind the plate. Remember, Teal is out after the injury last night. Durazio had some issues with some wild pitches earlier, but last night he was really solid in some crucial innings. Into left, and Alvarez is aboard.
Good piece of hitting there by Alvarez. Gets this curveball. He stays back just enough. Hits it right between that hole between short and third.
Now Nick Gonzalez, 2 for 10 in his 3 games. Mexico trying to get back to Miami, get back to the semifinals. They were 3 outs away from getting to the finals when Japan rallied dramatically in the bottom of the 9th. That's how Japan got through to face and beat Team USA in 2023. Couple hops, Fisher out there, birdie out there. A 5-4-3 double play. Nola is sharp, and Italy leads it 1-0 in Houston.
Get on the phone to get someone here as a backup.
Durazio has looked good with the bat. 3 for 5. He homered in his only start. Came in last night, had a single in the 8th inning. Oh-2. Swing and a miss.
Terrific breaking pitch from Assad. We've seen the fastball anywhere from 94 to 95. Good assortment of off-speed pitches to go along with it. Big sweeper for the swing and the miss.
JP.
Mickey Gasper arrived this morning from Fort Myers. I saw him in the dugout before the game, and I said, Mickey, quick turnaround. How you doing? He said, great. I slept on the plane.
Nori punches one into left field, and that's a 2-out hit. Dante Nori, just 21, the Toronto native. First-round pick by the Phils. His dad, an assistant coach in the NBA, and what a thrill it was last night for him to face Team USA. His grandfather, an assistant baseball coach at Indiana, recruited and signed Kyle Schwarber. And that was Dante's favorite player.
You wonder how aggressive Team Italy will be. Nori runs very well. You have a 1-0 lead, so important to pick up 90 feet. particularly with a left-handed hitter, it'll make it a little more difficult for Kirk to throw.
Antonacci, top of the order. It's out.
Boy, this one just off the edges. You can see Alejandro Kirk tried to massage that one and bring it back in. Good call, though. At least a ball off the plate.
A one-hopper. Gonzalez. Ortiz. That is nice. Great hit by Gonzalez. Clean turn by Ortiz. And in Houston, still 1-0. Italy. Their fans and their team this week in Houston. Alec Thomas, Joey Ortiz, Jaron Duran. And the first pitch, this is outside. One of the cool things about the Classic is the families for these players from whatever country they're representing. Some come from that country, some come from the United States. Alec Thomas's family didn't have to come very far. His dad, especially, his dad, a longtime strength and conditioning coach in the major leagues, in particular for the White Sox, was the strength and conditioning coach for Brazil. And that was the team that Alec Thomas hit a home run against, which was an interesting dynamic in the Brazil dugout. Thomas fouls it off. JP, a lot of families here.
A lot of families, and the Nola family well represented. 17 members of the Nola family and friends as well have driven over from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There is his daughter, Scotty, and Aaron's wife, Hunter, wearing the number 27 shirt. Interestingly, Austin Nola, Aaron's brother, was going to be on this Team Italy until he retired to take a coaching job with the Seattle Mariners. So Austin Nola undoubtedly watching from afar as his brother pitches for Italy. The hometown, by the way, of the Nola family in Italy, aptly named Nola. Nola, Italy.
Very nice. Ortiz now in the 9th spot for Mexico, 2 for 9 in the 3 games they've played. This is a really good middle infield for Mexico. Ortiz, the shortstop. Gonzalez, the second baseman. Gonzalez of the Pirates, Ortiz of the Brewers. They were college teammates at New Mexico State.
Aaron Nola continues to pepper the strike zone. That was a terrific comeback fastball he threw to strike out Thomas. A la Greg Maddux, start that ball in the hip of a lefty and bring it back over the inside corner. It's a guy that knows how to use the tools that he has. 4-pitch mix, he'll sink it, 4-seam fastball. Really good changeup in that curveball, which is his bread and butter.
Into center field, a 1-out single. And that brings up Duran.
If you're Nola, you'd like to take advantage. Duran can be a little aggressive swinging at times. You see he gets that foot up and down right in a hurry. Really good take by Duran.
Runner goes. Good jump. Out to center. And not stopping, heading to third, and forgetting how many outs there were, or maybe getting deked, is Ortiz.
A terrific decoy by the middle infield.
That's a double play. When we get back, we'll find out what happened at second base.
see on shortstop, Antonacci. What a decoy there. Ortiz falls for the decoy. Leaves his feet. He wants it to look like it's an apparent wild throw. Ortiz never looked in. Look at Antonacci on the ground, and Ortiz took the bait.
That's incredible. And partly because Joey Ortiz is a major league shortstop.
One of the things he did not do, whether it was a hit and run or a straight steal, he never picked up to see where the ball was. Head down, he was running the whole time. You're kind of at the mercy. You hear the contact. And a great job by Antonacci hitting the deck, making him seem like it was an apparent wild throw.
You rarely see a middle infielder decoying and leaving their feet. I mean, that's really selling out. Yep, look at Berti fouls it off. Italy now with John Berti, Jacob Marci, Vinnie Pasquantino. In the fourth, 1-0. The home run by Pasquantino in the second.
Sometimes the little things that don't show up in a box score. Heads up baseball IQ by Sam Antonacci.
Berti hits that one to left. Arozarena back at the wall. Looks up and it's gone! Crawford box homer. Second solo shot. Get the espresso ready for John Berti. It's 2-0.
Much like Team Italy did last night to Team USA. Shocking Mexico here early. Couple of solo home runs. This second one in those Crawford box seats here at Dyken Park.
Ten homers for Italy. This is their fourth game. 9 different players. Marci pops it up. Nacho Alvarez to the rail, and he makes the catch.
Yeah, this was a no-doubter right off the get-go. Berti squares this one up. You don't have to hit very far. Those Crawford box seats, it's 315 down the line. You see that cutaway to the alley, 366. Just high enough and just far enough. 2 swings, Italia with a 2-0 lead.
Pasquantino, big cut. That was his first hit of the Classic. His homer just got out over the outstretched glove of Jaron Duran. So 342 and 349 are the 2 distances of home runs.
We've had a chance to see all of Italy's games, and he has saved several infielders from errors. You ask any middle infielder, a first baseman that can handle the bag, he stretches as well as anybody too to go get a throw. Fooled by that curveball from Assad.
I know you felt last night, as we take a look at this great breaking ball. You
see Vinny out in front of it. There's the grip, that 12-6 down action.
You felt last night Italy hitting 2 home runs and getting out to a 3-0 lead changed the whole environment against USA.
It did. That Team USA lineup will scare you to death as a pitcher. But I credit Michael Lorenzen. Danced around the strike zone a little bit in the first inning, but innings 2, 3, and 4, he was aggressive.
This one stays in the yard. Arozarena squeezes. Another solo shot. Double espresso night for Italy. John Berti. 2-0.
Italy leading 2-0 on a John Berti home run. Berti, one of Italy's best players in this tournament. Hard to figure he is still unsigned as a free agent. Excellent all-around athlete growing up in Michigan, played goaltender in hockey through his junior year. His father, Thomas, actually played in the minor leagues for eventual Hall of Fame manager Jim Leland, still the only U.S. manager to win this tournament.
Not many hockey players can steal bases like Berti. He led the majors in stolen bases earlier in his career. Arozarena fouls it off. So that's impressive stuff. Strikeout back in the first. Nola double play to end the second, double play to end the third, and that pitch count something to keep an eye on. The limit is 65.
Much like last night, Team Italy playing sound fundamental defense. Both the second and third innings ending in double plays to help keep that pitch count down for Aaron Nola.
Arozarena chases and strikes out.
Yeah, that's the curveball. I had a chance to see it up front and center. I was fortunate to be a guest instructor for the Philadelphia Phillies in spring training. I'll tell you, getting a chance to watch Aaron Nola, there's a good shot of me and Aaron. To watch him throw a bullpen session in a day and age where so many pitchers are chasing velocity and spin, to watch him throw a 15-minute bullpen session is really something to watch. He's around the glove, commanding all of his pitches. I think the best thing you could say about Aaron Nola, he knows the kind of pitcher he is, Rich. He's not trying to chase spin. He's not trying to chase velocity. Moves the ball up, down, in and out, sinks it, cuts it, changes speeds. Pitcher, not a thrower.
And also calling his own game tonight. He's got PitchCom on his belt. He's got a catcher that doesn't have big league experience, so Nola's in charge. Aranda double back in the first. The 2-0 is in. So how did long toss go with Aaron Nola?
Well, the long toss was fine. It was when we shortened up to 60 feet 6 inches and he started spinning that curveball. I had a few too many years away from the game. I had a difficult time catching that curveball. I didn't let him know that, but I was happy when he decided to start throwing them straight again.
A strike to Aranda.
There's a look at the arsenal. He'll throw that four-seamer about 30% of the time. That knuckle curveball, and it is a dandy. Almost as much as he'll throw that four-seam heater. When you can make a pitch like that, 3-1, that two-seamer that he starts at Aranda's hip and brings it back in. Much like the one he struck Alec Thomas out in the third inning. He's just a hard guy to gauge and read when he's on, because he can manipulate the ball up, down, in and out.
Slow roller, fair ball. Pasquantino to the bag. 2 outs.
Yeah, this is one reason why in South Philly they refer to him as Captain Hook. He has one of the best right-handed curveballs in baseball. What makes it so good, he can change shapes with it. You often hear that expression about tunneling. Everything comes out of the same slot. He'll throw that curveball anywhere from 78 to 82 miles an hour. He has a good one, but more importantly, he knows how to use it.
Statcast era started in 2015. And here is Kirk. Nolan McLean has a terrific breaking ball. We saw that last night for Team USA. Tough to strike out and tough to walk.
You don't see that very often. Kirk, that much off balance. He is a bad ball hitter, but Aaron Nola pulls the string. Further proof that he changes speeds on that curveball. Tried to get him to bite on that one. See how far if Kirk would expand the strike zone. Now you've got multiple ways you can try to run that four-seam fastball up, or see if you could get some chase down and away.
High pop-up. DeRazio's back and it's out of play.
Normally with Aaron Nola, when he runs that four-seamer up, that was out of the zone. The only thing Alejandro Kirk could do was to pop that up. Most of the time, he'll follow that with something slow down and away. Try to speed a hitter up to slow him down.
1-2. Fair and down the line. Kirk does not run well. Antonacci has it. That's a single.
One of the few mistakes that Nola's made with that curveball. He'd like to have that one back. On a 1-2 count, he'd like to bury it. This one hangs up in the outer third. Hits it, just hits it inside the bag. This is about as much as you're going to see Kirk chug it down to first.
Meneses now struck out back in the second. Mexico has a hit in every inning. Meneses was such a big part of that charge by Mexico into Miami, into the semifinals. 2 home runs in the win over Team USA in 2023. Hit .370 in that classic. High pop. Out of play.
If you're Francisco Cervelli, you're trying to hold a 2-0 lead. Nothing gives a manager more comfort than when you feel like you have a guy on the mound that's in control of the situation. Aaron Nola's been in about every big spot you can be. He's pitched in a lot of big games in September and October for the Phillies. There's the change of speed again. He has Meneses out front. You acquire that after being out there and getting some experience. We saw a young righty and Nola McLean who could spin the ball with the best of them. McLean has a bright future, but Aaron Nola has a little bit more dirt underneath those cleats. He's able to go to plan A, plan B, or plan C.
That's birdie. And that's the third out. Mexico strands 2. Italy's up 2-0. You homer, you get your number on the espresso machine, and sometimes the mix is just right. 10 homers in the tournament. StatCast, powered not by espresso, but by the Italian bats. Caglione against Assad. Andrew Fisher, J.J. D'Orazio, 6, 7, 8 in the Italian order. I told you 9 different players have homered. Jack Caglione, a lot of power in that bat. He blasted one last night. All the homers last night were early. That built the 8-0 lead. All the homers last night were from left-handed bats. Pasquantino has homered. That's a lefty bat. But Birdie, the righty, went into the Crawford box. And that's how the score is 2-0 Italy.
Really good at bat by Caglione up to this point. Laid off a couple of curveballs from Assad. There's a good look at this Pasquatch, Vinnie Pasquantino. He's been flashing some flashy leather over at first base. Finally joined the party, hitting a solo homer.
Lead-off walk, John Morosi.
Rich, one thing to watch tonight is the importance of Mexico's left-handed relievers. The point you made about Italy's lineup being very left-handed is crucial here, and Benji Gil has 4 lefties in the bullpen to potentially go to. Natera, Bernardino, Armenta, and Garcia. So that could be one of their first moves as we see Bernardino already warming up.
Fisher smoked the first pitch he saw in a liner to Gonzalez into a double play. This guy's bat is fascinating. He's 21, 25 homers at Tennessee in 25. He led the SEC. He's played just 19 games in the minors. He looks like he belongs. Runner goes, can't stop the swing. Caglione has the bag.
I don't know how you didn't interfere too.
Team Italy playing very aggressive. Taking advantage of a lefty in the batter's box makes it a lot more difficult for a catcher. You take a look at Fisher right there, it makes it more difficult for Kirk. It's a much easier throw to try to cut down a runner with a right-handed hitter. You have that entire lane wide open to throw into.
That limbo move kept him out of the throwing lane of Kirk. You heard Alex Tosi, the umpire, say, I don't know how you didn't interfere with that.
Italy did such a good job last night of getting runners over at 90 feet. If you're Fisher, in an ideal world, you'd like to hit this ball to the right side, get Caglione to third, but with 2 strikes, kind of all bets are off. You're just in fighting mode, try to stay alive.
Ole Miss, Duke, Tennessee. Runner going, big jump. Ball's in the air, left center field. Arozarena's there. Caglione is back.
Really good job there by Caglione. As soon as contact was made, he looked in and saw that it was a fly ball to left field. Was able to slam the brakes on and get back to second.
DeRazio now.
That pitch count starting to drive up a little bit. This will be pitch number 58 from Assad. Only allowed 65 through this round of Pool B.
There's your pitch count limits. If you start a batter at, say, 62 or 63, you can finish that at bat and go over 65. Bernardino, the lefty, is ready. DeRazio waiting on a 1-1. Caglione chased back to second. One and two.
Good fastball there from Assad, 95 miles an hour, maintaining his velocity. Started the game in the first inning anywhere from 93 to 95. Pitch number 60, he's about to twirl. He's keeping that velo.
Runner at second. 1 out. Top 5. DeRazio, ground ball. That's a base hit. It's a shallow left field, and Arozarena's right on the ball. And it's at the corners for Italy. And the 21-year-old Nori coming to the plate.
Italy continuing to keep the pressure on Mexico. Assad has had to pitch in traffic quite a bit.
Benji Heel has the lefty ready. And he's going there. Italy with an opportunity in the 5th. At the corners, 1 out in Houston. Interesting spot for the 21-year-old Dante Nori, who's handled himself quite well in this Classic. At the corners, and 1 out, and a lefty out of the bullpen, Brennan Bernardino of the Red Sox.
Yeah, one of the quality left-handed arms Benji Heel has coming out of that bullpen for Team Mexico. Big spot in the game right here. A little left on left. You're always trying to find, as a manager, that right lane to put your relievers in, to put them in the best spot.
Of course, Antonacci, the leadoff man, lefty as well. He's on deck. Big bender. 1-1.
Take a look what's underneath that hood of Bernardino. He'll throw that sinker about 45% of the time. 5-pitch mix, curveball, changeup, cutter, and slider to go along with.
Middle infield back for 2. Corners are even. He's going to bunt, drops it down. Runner coming home, and he is safe. It pops out of Kirk's glove. Caglione scores. Everybody else is safe, and it's 3-0 Italy.
Boy, if you're Francisco Cervelli, you have to have a lot of trust in your players. The right guy you feel could get a bunt down. It's nearly an impossible play to defend if the ball is bunted on the ground. You see, Nori doesn't give it away too soon. Bernardino does a good job getting it. Hits right off the webbing of the glove of Kirk. You see the bunt is down, and this is a bang-bang play for a pitcher.
First and second now, and it's Antonacci who's 0 for 2. There's no error on the play. Nori gets an RBI. Italy gets a run, and the inning still looks like it could be even more productive.
Much like the Italians did last night against Team USA, continuing to push the envelope. Runs are at such a premium. You're not sure how long Aaron Nola. You have 65 pitches, but eventually the bullpen.
To left, Rosarena racing back. There, makes the catch. Both runners retreat. 2 down. It's a really good defensive outfield for Mexico.
It really is. Benji Heel told us before game 1, between Rosarena, Thomas, and Duran, they feel they have as much of an athletic outfield as there is in this Pool B. Rosarena goes a long way. He had a good beat on that one right from the get-go.
Mexico's bullpen active again. Third hitter for Bernardino. It's a righty bat, Birdie. Good contact guy. Homered into the Crawford boxes. And you see Duarte getting loose. Durazio, the catcher, is at second. Nori better speed behind him at first.
If you're Benji Heel right now, you almost have to play this 5th inning like it's the 8th or 9th. You can ill afford to fall much more behind. The high leverage relievers will be in early and often.
Inside corner. That's up. 3-1. 2 more lefty bats behind Birdie, Marcy and Pasquantino. Good at bat. Bags are loaded.
Biggest out of the game right now for Team Mexico. Base hit right here could create some space.
Elmer descends, pitching coach for Mexico.
Probably serving 2 purposes. Go over a scouting report on what they have on Marcy, but it also buys you some time for Duarte to make sure he's good and loose coming in.
Ron Wotus, the bench coach. Ron Wotus was a great coach for the San Francisco Giants. Part of their 3 world championships. Dave Righetti, of course, is also on this staff. Lipso Nava as well, the third base coach from the Giants. That's out.
Good spot to be in right now if you're Marcy. Count leverage at 2-1.
Bases loaded, 2 down, 3-0 Italy. And Bernardino can't find the plate. It's 3-0.
You would assume with Pasquantino on deck, Bernardino in for Marcy, then more than likely stay in for Pasquantino.
Three and one, and that barely clipped the bottom of the zone. Right in Bernardino with a 3-1 pitch. Ground ball into right field. That's a base hit. Scoring is D'Orazio. Another run across, out at first. The second run looked like it scored before Marcy was caught at first. This is going to be a 5-0 lead for Italy. Marcy knocks in 2. The Italians are doing it again.
The mathematics looks good for Team Italy and indirectly Team USA. Remember the circumstances on your screen right now with the Italians leading 5-0. That means that for Mexico to win this game, they would have to score at least 6 runs, and that puts the tiebreaker into the range where if this is a 9-inning game, and I stress, if this is a 9-inning game, the U.S. is in a good spot to still advance to the quarterfinals this weekend.
All right, thank you, JP. Both managers said, to heck with the math. We're treating this as win and you're in. But Mexico has fallen behind. This feels a lot like last night, Dan.
It does. Mexico not only running out of outs, but they've got a guy in Aaron Nola, an experienced pitcher. 58th pitch about to be thrown by Aaron Nola. Has a chance to complete 5 innings. And with a guy like Nola, you see some action scout you up for Team Italy in the bullpen. In a perfect world, Francisco Cervelli would love to get Nola to get through this inning.
No swing. Gonzalez bounced into a double play back in the second. Swing and a miss. JP, last night was the biggest win in Italian baseball history. Where would this one rank?
You know what, Rich? It would be probably an octave even higher, because to win this game, you then advance as not just advancing period, but advancing as the first place in the group, knowing that you're in the quarterfinal. And every game the Italians play and win to advance further captures even more imagination of the Italian people. We spoke earlier today about the Prime Minister addressing this in Parliament today. One of Francisco Cervelli's friends said, "We expect there's going to be a statue built of you in Rome." Rich, that is usually reserved for conquests and saints. Cervelli now 1 miracle down. Usually you need to have 2 to be canonized. Perhaps more miracles to come.
I don't know. St. Francisco has a nice ring to it. Full count here. Gonzalez. Mexico needs runs. It's fouled up. Dan, you know, we came into this thinking, well, USA, that's a best team ever assembled in the World Baseball Classic. And Mexico, man, they're expected to go. Maybe Italy can steal one here or there and sneak in. They're not sneaking in.
No, they're not, and this is a huge pitch for Aaron Nola. This will be pitch number 64. If he can get this, he'll be able to finish this inning. You can finish after 65 pitches to a current hitter.
He misses, and that's it. Well, our counter on the scorebook had 64. He's got one more in the tank.
He has one bullet left. Duran will be the last hitter that Nola will be allowed to face.
Alec Thomas. Gonzalez at first.
Been the bread and butter all night for Aaron Nola, that curveball. He's had it from the first inning on. We talked about it, Rich. If he has the curveball and has command of it, he's tough to get to. That's the comeback fastball that he struck Thomas out in the third inning. Started at the left-hander's hip and bring it back in.
The 9-hitter, Ortiz, is on deck. Runner goes. Good jump. Durazio's throw. He got him! What a gamble by Mexico. And what a throw by Durazio.
Yeah, that's the risk you run trying to start runners when you're down. What a great catch and throw. Right on the money, and Gonzalez is dead on arrival. Team Italy loving it. More importantly, it gives Aaron Nola a chance to get this last hitter.
Two balls and two strikes. But Durazio playing because of the injury to Kyle Teal. The question was, how's his defense? It was shaky on some wild pitches early in the series, but that was a beautiful throw and a tapper, and this could not have gone any better for Italy. 5 runs on the board, 5 innings from Nola, and 4 innings to go.
Aaron Nola, 5 scoreless, 4 hits, 1 walk, and 5 punch-outs. Brought with them the double play ball. Team Italy flashing some leather, but Aaron Nola was in control. Used that 2-seam fastball right here, the final out. Nice play by John Birdie. There are the 2 guys, Michael Lorenzen and Aaron Nola, the bookends of this starting rotation.
And this has Team USA in a terrific position to get that second spot and into the quarterfinals. Italy 5-0 over Mexico. Nola toweling off into the 6th inning. Pasquantino to right, and that's deep, and that's gone. Pasquatch strikes. His second. 6-0. Cue the opera music.
Yeah, it was a slow start in the WBC offensively for Vinnie, but he's making up for it in a big way. Second home run for the guy the Royals fans refer to as the Pasquatch. Go get another shot of espresso, Vinnie.
Such a cool home run celebration. And the fact that we've been able to see it 11 times in their 4 games.
I'll tell you, if you were wondering last night if just the stars were lined up right for Team Italy, things fell in place. But Vinny, this is a high, towering shot just inside the foul pole here at Dyken Park. Team Italy's for real.
Yes, they are.
Come, Zach. Best up there.
Into the bat, into right center field. Duran runs it down. JP?
Rich, you do wonder somewhere Pasquantino's Royals teammate Bobby Witt Jr. is watching this with his American teammates, and I'm sure Vinnie Pasquantino, if the Italians go on to win this game and help the Americans get to the quarterfinal, I'm sure Vinny's going to be able to make a couple requests of his teammates as a bit of a thank you for the deeds that Italy is doing, which will indirectly help Team USA.
I would guess that's Team USA watching, and now, and it's not 100%, but it's pretty much there. They're thinking about that quarterfinal.
In the same respect, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, probably going to give Aaron Nola a hug the next time they see each other, right?
Italy played with such confidence, such poise, and such precision last night in beating USA 8-6.
Tell you, give a lot of credit to Weiser pitching the ninth inning last night, trying to hold a 2-run lead. Aaron Judge lurking, comes up and gets the big strikeout in the ninth inning. If Team Italy was going to fold, last night was the night they could have folded. Top of the order coming up for Team USA. Base hit by Bobby Witt. Tying run comes up to the plate, and Weiser stepped up big.
It's an incredible moment last night with Judge at the plate. It wasn't Ohtani Trout, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, Team Italy, they've shocked a lot of people. You know, Rich, when we got here the first day, all the talk was about Team USA and Team Mexico, and first thing you said to me was this Team Italy, they're talented, they're young, they're aggressive, they can push the envelope, they have some team speed, very favorable schedule the first couple of days. They were able to save Lorenzen and Aaron Nola for arguably the two biggest games of the pool, and it's all played out.
When we looked at the schedule, you start from the top, you get to the bottom. When you get to the bottom of the schedule, you see this game, the last game, and both of us were like, oh, that's going to be the game. And, of course, Italy last night stunned everybody. And they're doing it again tonight. Fisher did not go. It's 3-1.
I think most of the banter around Dyken Park tonight was, okay, the slipper's going to fall off Team Italy. This is almost a home game for Team Mexico. They get a huge contingent of fans, and it felt like a home game from Team Mexico. But I think one of the things you do, you score early, you take the crowd out of the game, and that's what the Italians have been able to do.
Both nights. He went on that one.
I also had
Full count, 3-2. You know, and the funny part, Francisco Cervelli told us right before it started, wait, we're going to put the game in motion, we're going to run, we're going to do all these things. They've absolutely crushed the ball. 11 homers. And this is their fourth game.
And think about it, up until this game, really Vinnie Pasquantino, their big home run threat, hasn't done a whole lot.
It's 0 for 12.
So if you're Team Italy, you just have to feel like, wow, we're starting to get this whole thing rolling right now.
Fisher hooks it over to the right side, and the inning is over. Another inning, another homer, another espresso. 6-0, Italy.
On the mound for Team Italy, he is capable of going multiple innings. With the Italians leading 6-0, it's worth mentioning, if Italy closes out this win, they will top this group with, of course, the next group of teams coming in is coming from San Juan, Puerto Rico. The team that topped that group, Canada, just like everyone expected. Italy and Canada winning the two groups that would converge here. And Rich, I would point this out, Friday evening, if all of these things hold, the matchup would be the United States against Canada. If memory serves, those two nations have met fairly recently in a couple high-profile gold medal games that took place in, that's right, Italy.
You're doing this just because you want to brag about being there in person and watching both of those.
I did.
Yes.
I saw them both. Men's and women's hockey, two unforgettable moments, and we could have one more to complete the trilogy here on Friday.
Graceffo, 3-0.
Yeah, not the way you'd like to start coming out of the bullpen. Aaron Nola set the stage with 5 scoreless. So important getting that first out of the inning. You would assume in a game like this that Mexico is going to have 1 or 2 chances with some traffic on bases. So your team Italy right now, you want to keep this momentum in your favor.
They had an 8-0 lead last night, and it shrunk to 8-6 before Weiser got that last out. And Mexico has a base runner.
Now you start dealing with that Thunder part of the lineup. Duran, Arozarena, and Aranda.
Pete Crow Armstrong was the one that really fueled the comeback last night with a couple of home runs.
Tell you what, not a very big guy, but there's a lot of thunder in that bat for PCA. Had the big homer, the 3-run bomb to get it to 8-4. Team USA was able to scratch a couple more across to get it to 8-6, but Weiser took over in the 9th. The bullpenning game seems like an easy game. Okay, we're going to go just hand it off one to the next guy, but all it takes is one reliever to not be on point, and all of a sudden that bullpenning plan can become unraveled.
The only way Mexico can win this game is to get to 7 runs. That's great for the USA. And if Italy wins this game, that's great for the USA as well. So the Americans sitting pretty right now, barring like a 17-inning game with one of those Texas Instrument calculators and an abacus.
I'm not sure what the pitching coach, what language he spoke to Graceffo in, but whatever it was, it better be throw strikes, make Team Mexico hit their way on. You get in a spot like this sometimes, it's better off just to go ahead and try to mix in a breaking ball. You've thrown 5 consecutive fastballs that have missed. You get to throw a breaking ball, you slow your mechanics down a little bit.
Duran has 3 home runs in 3 games. Reggie Hill talking about this young man and his bravery and battle with mental health and how far he's come, how confident he is. 2-1. Chopper. Pasquantino sidearms for an out. And Antonacci will hold it. Duran runs well. He's at first with 1 out.
Boy, Vinny has been a vacuum over there at first base. Such a big out to get that lead runner, keep the double play in order. He makes it look rather easy. You see, he comes and gets this right away. Creates a lane to throw into so he doesn't throw the ball into the back of the runner. Antonacci up with some trickery again.
Would you say Italy has been the best defensive team in this pool?
Last 2 nights for sure. They've made all the plays that have needed to be made. Airtight defense.
I think the Antonacci decoy is icing on the cake. Rosarena struck out twice.
Back-to-back really good breaking balls right there. If you're Rosarena right now, you have to go up there. All he's been able to establish is the fastball. This is a good cutter right here. On the knees, outside corner.
0-2.
It's amazing how a pitch will get a pitcher right back in sync. That first pitch breaking ball. The last 3 pitches have been the best 3 that Gordon has thrown. You see a Rosarena out in front of this one. All they can do is hook it foul if he makes contact.
Duran runs, big jump, swing and a miss. That's strike 3 on a Rosarena and a stolen base for Mexico.
Boy, textbook pitching right there. You slow a hitter down, then you speed him up with the express chest level. 3 really good breaking balls, and then right here he goes upstairs with the express and throws it right by a Rosarena. 4-seam fastball, chest high. Nearly impossible to get on top of that pitch.
Oh, and 1. So if this holds, Italy would get Puerto Rico, the 2 seed coming out of Pool A. High hopes for Mexico, especially coming off of 2023. Getting to the semifinals. Aranda.
Boy, whatever Alessandro Maestri told Graceffa when he came out to that mound is that this has been a story of Jekyll and Hyde. Couldn't find the zone at the beginning, but he's peppering the strike zone. He's found command. He's found his release point.
Duran at second. Just up. Alex Tosi, the whole plate umpire, Major League umpire, out of Canada. 2-2 foul back. Adrian Johnson at first, the USA.
Boy, it's like watching an entirely different pitcher from the first 5 pitches from Graceffa. Able to land that breaking ball, that hard slider, locating the fastball on point.
Two. Tosi's had a pretty good night.
Yeah, he has. That's a real good take there. Big pitch right here. You want to force some action.
This big Mexico crowd hasn't had much to get loud about. Graceffa walks Aranda, and it's Kirk now. Want to take a bite out of this lead, this is a good guy to have at the plate.
Yeah, one of the better bad ball hitters in all of baseball. Elite bat-to-ball skills and a terrific 2-strike hitter. About the only knock you can say about Kirk, he's not very fast out of the box. So a ball hit on the ground to one of the infielders, you're not able to get the force out. He doesn't run all that well if you have to throw it across the diamond.
That's a strike. That was one of the impressive things about one of the double plays by Bobby Witt Jr. A lot of shortstops would have tried to get the out at second. He knew that Kirk was running, and from his knees threw him out on a hop. A 1 pitch. One ground ball. Antonacci, yep, he knows it as well. And he's bailed out by Pasquantino. The Pope pretty happy with Italy on top. Big night for Pasquatch.
WBC. Look at the stretch from Vinnie right there. Several short hops he's been able to come with clean. He saved a few errors for Team Italy. Look at this last play. Short hop. That's amore, Vinnie.
Yes, it is. D'Orazio, swing and a miss. And he's also really kept the dugout loose. He's the guy that demanded the espresso machine in the corner of the dugout and made it a routine with every homer. That ball's fouling out of play.
I'll tell you, Rich, we got here a few hours before this game today, and just walking around the batting cage, this Team Italy was all business. There was no talk about last night's win over Team USA and trying to chum up and excited about the shocker they pulled off last night. They've been very focused on the task at hand, and it's showing right now. 6-0 lead going to the 7th.
Talking to Francisco Cervelli and a couple of players, exactly mirrors what you just said about last night. Hey, they celebrated. It was a shocking win. That was a big deal. But as they got in the locker room, and as everybody does, you celebrate a big win, then all of a sudden it was like, hey, it's just one win. We got to go back and win tomorrow night too. D'Orazio takes up. So this all but assures the U.S. is in. We had to hire 3 mathematicians from the University of Houston today. 13 innings is like right now the only scenario where it could get dicey. But with Italy on top 6-0. Mark DeRosa can start thinking about his starting lineup against Canada on Friday night. Counts 1 and 2 here. An off day for the Classic here tomorrow. And then Friday night, Saturday afternoon, the 2 quarterfinals. This is pool play. You know, it's 4 games. You have a chance to get some big wins and maybe recover from a tough loss like USA. But that ends on Friday. It's the lightning round. Winning, you advance. Losing, you're out, and you're going home. You win a quarterfinal here, you're on to Miami in the semifinals. Vodnik, 3rd out of the bullpen for Mexico. This was a Javier Assad start.
Sequence of pitches. Mostly hard, either four-seam fastballs or cutters.
Duran is there, makes the catch. We head down to John Morosi.
Rich, you mentioned all business for the Italians. Well, that extends to the style. This is how they arrived when they've been flying and arriving on the bus to the ballpark. You know the old saying, look good, feel good, play good. In Italy, they have a phrase for that. La bella figura, the style, the way you're supposed to present yourself. Italy presenting very well at this World Baseball Classic.
Dan Plesac rolled in, not quite like that, but close.
Close. Listen, This was a game to bring your A game, right? This is a big game. Biggest game of this pool so far. Lots of implications, not only for Mexico and Italy, but a lot of eyeballs watching this one, seeing if Team USA is going to be able to advance.
And a big crowd, mostly wearing green and red, has been kept at bay. 3 home runs. Italy has jumped to a 6-0 lead.
You know, we had a chance to talk to a lot of the players from Team USA after that 5-3 win over Mexico here at Dyken Park, and almost to the player, they said it felt like an October atmosphere. I think the best thing that happened for Team Italy tonight, you jump out to a quick lead and you silence this crowd. Team Mexico really hasn't had a whole lot to cheer about.
Antonacci, the 23-year-old. You get to see guys like Antonacci who are in the minor league system. He's out of Coastal Carolina University, Double-A with the White Sox. You get to see him play, 4 games, get an idea, and they're playing against Major League pitching, against Major League opponents. They've got Major League teammates. Had a great JUCO career before getting to Coastal Carolina. He could play just about everywhere, too. That looked like it hit his elbow. He's on his way to first.
See this 2-seam fastball. Catches him right on that elbow guard, on that right elbow. You see so many players now wearing that protective armor on that elbow that's exposed to the pitcher.
Birdie's home run, a big one. Italy had a homer from Pasquantino in the second, but Birdie's all of a sudden kind of validated that. They made it 2-0. Back in is Antonacci. Because it was such a reminder of last night when the 3 homers against Team USA and the lead just got bigger and bigger. This stretched it to 2-0. And Italy started rolling. That's a liner. Birdie should be in a big league uniform, having watched him here. That ball kicked in center by Thomas. Round third, coming home, and Antonacci scores.
Terrific hustle by Antonacci. Wasn't assuming that a play was going to be made. Was rounding second, chugging for third. Boy, this is great baseball awareness and instincts. You see right up here, he picks the ball up, he knows where it's at. Picks up his third base coach. Gives him the go sign, send. Scores easily.
Seven nothing. Vodnik misses low. This is Marcy. Marcy, a Miami Marlin. 55 games last year. Good numbers, too. 292, 363 on base, slug near 500.
Well, you kind of feel the air going out of this ballpark. Team Mexico came into this. This place was electric in the first inning. I think the further this goes, the more Team Mexico and their fans are realizing, like, hey, we're up against it, swimming upstream.
There were a lot of fans in 2023 that filled the ballpark in Phoenix. Liner to center. That's deep. Thomas after it, and he makes the catch. You can go get him with the best of them. Italy adds on. Berti to center. Thomas kicks it. And Tanacci to the plates. And that is 7-0 Italy.
9 a.m. in Castiglione della Pescaia, Italy. But this is how it looks in broad daylight. The academy where Francesco Cervelli, Italy's manager, has been working half of the year to develop the next generation of Italian players. He told us this week he put about 15,000 miles on his van driving around Italy looking for players for Italian national teams. Not just for this team, but for the under-18 team, the under-15 team, the under-23 team. This is part of what Francesco Cervelli's mission and goal is for Italian baseball, spending half the year there, half the year now in the Dominican Republic. And as he told me last night, teary-eyed, Rich and Dan, the sacrifice, the decision to move there has all been worthwhile because of nights like last night.
JP, he said when he was driving around, what was it, 15,000 miles on the van?
Right.
Said he never had a bad meal.
You don't. You don't. That is the Italian way, Rich, and certainly it's now brought them to the brink of what would be the next greatest triumph in Italian baseball, which would be winning this group. And if they win the group, if this score holds, they would face Puerto Rico on Saturday, and Friday would be Canada and the U.S. Presumably, Logan Webb would get the ball again for manager Mark DeRosa.
And for Italy?
Italy on Saturday, it actually could work out quite nicely for them because Samuel Aldegheri, who grew up in the area of Verona, Italy, so an Italian born and raised pitcher, would get that ball potentially for the quarterfinal game against the Puerto Ricans.
All right, this one's not done yet. Thank you, JP. Mexico has the firepower, but right now they're in a big hole. 7-0, Italy on top. And with this score, if you're just joining us, by all accounts, has Team USA in. That hit him. First and second, nobody out.
And if you're Francisco Cervelli, this is what you don't want to see. Might be time to go to that bullpen. This one gets away from Graceffo. Just grazes the elbow of Nacho Alvarez.
Graceffo will exit. Mexico making some noise. 7-0 Italy. Presented by Authority, the World Baseball Classic, Inc. May not be reproduced, retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent.
New pitcher for Team Italy. Right-hander Claudio Scotti. No major league experience. His job right now, try to get some outs. Big guy, 6'4", 220 pounds. Fine ERA, 2.01.
This is bottom of the order here. Gonzalez, the 7th spot. Then you got Alec Thomas, Joey Ortiz. Vanessa single. Alvarez walked. 7-0 Italy. The run total means something would have to get really, really crazy. A lot of extra innings. USA in the quarterfinals. And that would mean a Mexico comeback for that to happen. Italy is just like, hey, we're going to win this game.
Little help there from Nick Gonzalez. Swung at ball 3. Base runner so important right now for Team Mexico. They had Scotti behind the ball there. 8 ball at 2-1. Helped him out. Get back in the count 2-2.
Breaking ball. Fouled off.
You know, that's one of the things, even though Team USA lost that game 8-6 last night, a relentless lineup of guys that control the strike zone from Team USA. Very rarely chasing outside of the strike zone.
Two. It's out.
Big pitch right here coming up from Scotty. You certainly don't want to load the bases. You've got some thunder lurking with Duran and Arozarena due up shortly.
Finally, this crowd trying to rally Mexico. Loaded. Seemed like there were many moments like this last night with an 8-0 lead over Team USA. And back they came, little by little. Pete Crow Armstrong hit a couple of homers. They got within 2. Judge got to the plate. It was a tying run and struck out. Bags loaded here. Thomas takes in.
Spot like this, you'll sacrifice a run for an out. You want to try to keep those crooked numbers off the board. Meeting here to try to calm Scouty down a little bit.
Alessandro Maestri, who is the pitching coach. David Ketty also
reliever, particularly with the pitch clock. You start rapid firing one pitch after another. We talked about it earlier. It's almost like hitting golf balls at the driving range. You start swinging and swinging and swinging. And you can get lulled into a fast pace as a reliever. You don't have the ability to step off and walk around the mound like you did a couple of years ago. It's a much faster pace of game now. Makes it a little bit more difficult for relievers, particularly in high leverage spots.
Tellez is on deck. Joe Lasorsa is up in Italy's pen. Meneses, Alvarez, and Gonzalez. Thomas at the plate. And he bounces one. It's not often you see a mound visit and then a pitch that's bounced about 10 feet in front of home plate.
Well, this happens when you have a young man on the mound that doesn't have a lot of high-stress major league experience.
Thomas swings, hits a little roller to first. Pasquantino gets to the bag. Mexico is on the board.
Well, if there was ever a time, Rich, to trade a run for an out, that was it. So important to get that first out of the inning.
So here is Tellez. Italy right now.
Good move but here by Vinnie Pasquantino. Trying to. Good move there by a guy that's really been vested in this. A lot of ways that Vinnie Pasquantino has helped Team Italy.
JP?
Rich and Dan, one thing that Francisco Cervelli said to me last night was that he told Vinnie Pasquantino, if the game is getting loud, if it is getting fast, you can stop it at any time, go visit the mound, slow it down. That's precisely what he's done with Scotti, who must now face the dangerous Rowdy Tellez.
One thing, Tellez doesn't run all that well. If he can get him to hit one on the ground, this has the makings of being an ending double play.
In the air and out of play. Tellez 2 for 9 with an RBI. No home runs in this classic. Started the first 3 games. Pinch hitting here. Liner, Pasquantino whips it to second. Safe there.
Once again, Vinny in the right place at the right time. Rowdy squared this one up pretty good. You see Vinny playing deep at first base with first base open. Huge second out for Team Italy.
Joe La Sorsa coming in. Scanning report on the rail, 7-1, Italy.
Sorsa on the mound for Team Italy, their lone lefty out of the bullpen. His assignment now is a very difficult one. Jaron Duran, who has gone deep multiple times already in this classic. La Sorsa did pitch at the Tokyo Dome a year ago against Japan. Good training for tonight.
Lefty on lefty. 3 homers for Duran in 3 games coming into this one.
Yeah, he hit 2 home runs against Matthew Boyd in Team USA. La Sorsa throws from that lower 3/4 arm angle. Tough to pick up for lefties.
Duran slashes that one foul.
Boy, what you like to see if you're Francisco Cervelli, guys coming out of the bullpen, get ahead, strike one. Create so many more opportunities, second and third, 2 outs. You've got a couple of pitches you can mess around with if you're La Sorsa. Want to see if he'll expand and chase. Throw that big sweeper down and away.
Oh, 2. That's the big sweeper.
You're still sitting in the driver's seat. If you're La Sorsa right now, you want to go back out there again.
Great Jorge Cantu on that list. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did! Joe La Sorsa pumping his fist. Raw emotion. Pasquantino, Team Italy. It's all going on in Houston. The Italians took down USA last night. Tonight, Mexico in their sights and a 7-1 lead.
Every big game has that one crucial at bat, and this was it. Joe La Sorsa loving it. Look at Vinnie Pasquantino. Both of them stepped in a big old bucket of sassy. Look at Aaronola. He's loving it too.
What a night for Pasquantino, the leader of this team. A team that had gone 3-0. Robert Garcia, the lefty, in for Mexico. A team that had gone 3-0 essentially without his offense. He was 0 for 12 in the first 3 games. And he's exploded for 2 solo homers in 3 at-bats.
Once again, Team Italy able to dodge a couple of opportunities for Team Mexico in the 6th and the 7th with multiple runners on. Pitchers making big pitches at big times.
We saw Cerna at second base. Gonzalez moves over to short. Joey Ortiz is out. Nobody in the history of the World Baseball Classic has had a 3-homer game. Ortiz, versatile back of the bullpen guy. He can set up, he can close. The pride of UC Davis. DeCenzo and Caglione. If you're just joining us, Italy's up 7-1. USA through to the quarterfinals, barring like 8 extra innings or some wild formula like that. But USA is safely in. I feel secure in saying that.
Yeah, right now it's just a race against 6 outs if you're Team Italy. You feel like you have a 6-run lead going into the 8th inning.
That one, I'm not sure if he got it all. Let's see. It's deep. It is gone. He's hit 3.
Vinny's going to have so much espresso in him, he may not go to sleep tonight. This will be his third shot of espresso. Vinny, take it easy, big fella.
3 times a homer, opera, espresso. Now that's Italian. 8-1. Just so good.
Thank you. Oh, I love you guys. That's our cap.
That's our captain.
Just when it felt like Mexico had some momentum going, like Team Italy's done this entire Pool B play, they've just answered back.
DeZenzo lines one into right field. That's a hit. Top of the 8th, 8-1, Italy on top.
Well, here's the third one. He's already hit 2. Why not go for the trifecta? The Pasquantino strikes 3 times at Dyken Park.
They were 0 for 22. That's hard to do. Score 8 runs and beat that type of team.
Yeah, the bottom third of the order, very productive throughout Pool B for Team Italy. Now they're starting to get some of the featured players involved.
Yeah, Birdie, a homer, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Pasquantino with 3 homers. JP?
This is Vinnie Pasquantino's first 3-homer game as a major leaguer. Of course, won't go into the major league stats for the Kansas City Royals, but this certainly feels not just like a major league game, but a major league postseason game. What a day for someone who had yet to homer, arriving to today. And gentlemen, as you talked about, bunted on the first pitch he saw.
Yeah, thankfully for him, he bunted it foul and then homered. And of course, he's the guy behind the espresso machine in the corner. And the tradition, as they started 4 games ago, you homer, you get the espresso, and then your number goes on the machine. And now there's 3 number 9s on that machine.
Took a look at that initially, Rich, and first thing I thought was, boy, that's somebody with a long address, a lot of numbers in their address on their mailbox.
Andrew Fisher swings and misses there. Well, Francisco Cervelli has a lot of confidence in this youngster to stick him in there in this game. Fisher didn't think Garcia came set. Smacks that one in the gap. That kid can hit all the way to the wall it goes. DeZenzo around third. He will come to the plate and score.
Team Italy starting to pile it on now. Just the further this game has gone on, you can just see the confidence level. Cutter that's just blistered into gap in left center field. As speedy as Alec Thomas is, there's no chance he's going to catch this one. And line keeps moving for Team Italy.
Garcia's coming out. Roel Ramirez is ready. Who thought we'd be looking at this graphic in this game? 9-1 here in the 8th. Back after this. Out of the Mexico bullpen, Andrew Fisher, an RBI double. He's at second. Italy keeps adding on. 2 more here in the 8th. One thing to think about, Italy lost a really good catcher and a really good weapon at the plate with Kyle Teal, the hamstring injury last night. D'Orazio has swung a pretty good bat in this classic. May not be the equal of Teal behind the plate, but Francisco Cervelli talked about, remember the problems he had with the wild pitch? He said, look, it's hard. He said, this has happened to me. This has happened to Jorge Posada, who's on his staff. This has happened to Sal Fasano. When you have to jump behind the plate and catch pitchers you've not seen before or really caught before, that could be a challenge.
You know, Team USA manager even talked about it. When they were playing the exhibition game, Cal Raleigh wanted to catch all 9 innings because he wanted to be familiar with some of the high leverage relievers. You know, you can watch a guy throw a bullpen, but when you're sitting down, you want to be able to see how much sink the ball, does it run, does it carry, the depth on the breaking ball.
Raleigh didn't just want to catch 9 innings. He wanted to catch all the bullpens, too.
Rich, one of the important details for D'Orazio and how things went for him in that first game against Great Britain, the belief was, in talking to some of the Team Italy personnel, was that what flummoxed him was pitch count, which you don't use really in any other league around the world. And what he was told by the veteran players on this team is, listen, once you throw the ball back to the mound, just start hitting buttons. Don't think, just start pushing buttons, because if you think for 2 seconds and then wait before you start pressing buttons, you're compressing the amount of time the pitcher has to give you the answer. Just hit the button, let the pitcher decide, and get into a better rhythm. He's been much better since then.
Absolutely. 2-2. And he swings and misses. And that's the second out of the inning.
Good look at this breaking ball from Ramirez. Down and in, pulls the string, took something off. See that grip on the side of the ball. Hard curveball. As D'Orazio out front gets the second out. Well, that's the guy that set up the bowling pins for Team Italy. Michael Lorenzen was brilliant last night against Team USA.
Nick Morabito. And Morabito takes inside. Because of the way their starters had been stacked for the back of the pool, with back-to-back games, Lorenzen and Nola, Aldegari's the guy that will get the ball to start the quarterfinal, and then that should line up, you would hope, for Lorenzen and Nola if Italy gets to Miami.
Yeah, Aldegari was really strong in their 8-0 win over Brazil.
Morabito, short hop pick. Alvarez makes the play. Italy adds on. 9-1.
On the mound for Team Italy, Adam Ottavino. This is his 3rd World Baseball Classic and almost certainly his final one. Ottavino likely will not return to pitching professionally after this. He's had an amazing career in the major leagues. We could be looking at the final professional appearance of a very distinguished reliever who 3 years ago pitched for Team USA in this very same event.
Yeah, and he appeared in the World Baseball Classic before he appeared in the major leagues. He pitched for Italy all the way back in 2009. So what a bookend to have, JP.
It really is. Adam, very proud of his Italian heritage, born and raised in New York, still makes his home in the New York area, and I will say this, one of the most thoughtful people I've come across in my career covering baseball. Tremendous perspective on the on-field and off-field dynamics of the game.
Take a look at the innings, the strikeouts, 744 innings, 862 strikeouts. This guy's known for spinning the ball. Had a little difficult time the first 3 pitches, trying to find that release point. In his heyday, he could get it up there mid-upper 90s with that big sweeper.
The Rosarena, rough night. He struck out 3 times and he walks. Multiple countries, and we're about to see Arenado here in Houston. We saw De Silva earlier in Pool B, Houston, Texas. Canada and Puerto Rico are headed here. Japan, Korea are through from Pool C. Venezuela, Dominican Republic from Pool D.
There's a good look at the sweeper. That's the pitch that really was his calling card. Could really spin the ball. Here's a good look at it right here. This ball appears to be on the outside edge, and it cuts right across the heart of the plate.
Aranda up, Rosarena at first. Is Ottavino a guy you would see in a major league front office?
I tell you what, he really dives a lot into the analytics. Spin rate, velocity, hitting planes, hitting angles. He's a deep thinker. Spent 15 years in the big leagues. Had some really solid seasons. It looks a lot easier when you're sitting at home. They just throw it over the plate. You get out there in a game-type situation. He's struggling to find home plate with that sinker.
727 appearances. This was a good place for him. Dyke and Park. Rosarena's on the move. As strike three called.
That's his bread and butter pitch, the sweeper. He's had difficulty locating that sinker. This is a guy that's known for that breaking ball. Aranda didn't like the call, but it appeared to get that outside edge. Benji Heel not liking it either. Good pitch, catches the outside corner. Easy pitch to lay off if you're a lefty. You see that ball almost in the right-handed batter's box.
Now Kirk. High expectations for Mexico. They themselves had high expectations. Benji Heel was very confident coming in. Jared Duran was hitting balls out of the park. Lost to USA 5-3, and there was talk of, hey, wait till the rematch. Guess what? Not going to be a rematch in this World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, the way they clawed back into that game against Team USA, they found themselves down 5-0. They just kept scratching and clawing, trying to get back into it. It's going to be a big disappointment for Team Mexico if this holds up. They felt like they controlled their own destiny. They win and they advance.
One-two to Kirk.
I think you're here, Ottavino, right now. You stretch this count about as far as you want to take it. He's been able to throw that sweeper, has been his most effective pitch that he can rely on.
That doesn't happen often. Kirk just waving at a breaking ball. That's how good the spin was.
Yeah, this one just continues to just keep breaking. He has such good tight spin on it. See, it starts out on that outside corner. If you're curved, the last thing you want to do is be left standing with the bat, and you get called out on strike three.
JP?
One thing to keep in mind here, Rich, if Mexico loses this game, they miss their chance to qualify for the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. Recall, the top two finishers in this tournament among those teams in the Americas, so North America, South America, will qualify. If this result holds, the 4 teams still left in that conversation: Canada, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and Venezuela. Of course, the U.S. has already qualified as the host nation. Just 6 teams, 6 total for the entire world, will be in that baseball tournament.
Where do the other 3 come from?
There are a series of additional qualifiers, most notably the WBSC Premier 12, which will soon become the Premier 16. That's the second biggest senior level baseball tournament around the world after the World Baseball Classic, and then additional tournaments that would include potential teams from Europe, Africa, and Oceania as well.
Just 6 teams qualifying for baseball at the next Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. Meneses. Rosarena out at second. Ottavino's breaking ball, that's a strike. Looked like it hit the corner. It did hit the corner. Mexico obviously not in a good mood to begin with.
Once again, that big sweeper bailing out Ottavino. You'd have to think 3-2, he's going to go right back to it again.
That's out. And Meneses walks. Canada and Puerto Rico coming here for the quarterfinals. Friday night, USA and Canada, Puerto Rico and Italy Saturday afternoon. This could be great to see Ernie Witt, the skipper of Team Canada. He's such a good guy. He's been there and part of that program for a long time.
Part of some really good teams in the mid-1980s for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Justin Morneau on that staff. Paul Quantrill on that staff. And my favorite name in baseball, Stubby Clapp, the third base coach.
Paul's son Cal was part of that victory today for Team Canada.
Ottavino hits Alvarez. And Francisco Cervelli, I think, has seen enough. Ornelas, a big lefty bat, coming in for Mexico. And Italy going to the bullpen. 9-1. Big bat on deck. Julian Ornelas. Mexico looking for anything to climb back in. They're running out of outs. Gabriele Quatrini.
Quite simple for Gabrielle. Get it out and get it quickly.
Something is afoot down the left field line.
So important as a relief pitcher to come in and make that first pitch. Get ahead, strike one when you're pitching around traffic. Last thing you want to do if you're Team Italy right now is to give Mexico any free passes, make them hit their way on.
Ornelas, a star in Mexico. Drive to right. That's a mammoth shot. It's going to stay in the yard. That stayed up forever. Paglio makes the catch. Italy is safely into the ninth. 9-1.
Incorporated and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
One of those. Not the big bling with the M, but that luchador mask would look good on you. 9-1.
Yeah, if Team Mexico would have advanced, that's more of the look I'd like there, that more that scary look, right? You're going to go out there and pitch the 9th inning wearing a luchador. You want to have that mean look.
There still will be a street party outside after this, even though Mexico is about to be eliminated.
Yeah, this is a guy right here. He doesn't need any help. You're looking at one of the top relievers in all of baseball. Powerhouse at the back end of that Mariners bullpen, Andres Munoz. 62 1/3 innings pitched, 83 punch-outs last year for the Mariners.
Mateo Gil, son of Benji, is out at shortstop for Mexico, top of the order. And Tanachi at the plate. Stick with us. We'll have live post-game here. Interviews down on the fields. We'll also bring you the sights and the sounds of Pool B.
Team Mexico had visions of having Munoz coming in to protect the lead in the 9th inning. It's like having one of those sports cars in your garage. You can't wait to take it out for a spin. Certainly didn't expect him to come into a game with Team Mexico down 9-1.
If you were to name an all-Pool B team, where would you start?
Vinnie Pasquantino just shot up the list. I mean, how could you deny a 3-home-run game? Bobby Witt comes to mind. Aaron Judge.
I put Gunnar Henderson on there.
Paul Skeens. Aaron Nola. Michael Lorenzen. Sawayama pitched 8 scoreless innings for Brazil. He was terrific too.
Lucas Ramirez was an early candidate with his 2-homer game against the USA.
But I think most of my votes would go to John Paul Morosi. More tidbits about Italy, Brazil, Mexico, U.S. The stories behind the scenes. JP, you've been all over it.
Well, Dan, I appreciate it. It's been a thrill to work with both you and Rich. It's been a great week plus of baseball, and certainly more to come here in the quarterfinal with 2 more games coming up this weekend. I was thinking about the group of players that Canada's bringing up from having won that group in Puerto Rico, and wouldn't it be quite a story if at some point in time in this journey Jamison Taillon would have a chance to pitch for Canada here in Houston. Taillon has Canadian parents but was raised here in the Woodlands, Texas, just north of Houston. It's a hometown return for Jamison Taillon as Canada makes it out of the group for the first time ever in World Baseball Classic play.
Yeah, that Canadian lineup, it's Naylor heavy. Bo Naylor, Josh Naylor, Edouard Julien, who can really hit, Abraham Toro on that infield, Tyler O'Neill in the outfield. Mike Soroka is lined up to start that quarterfinal game. Got Logan Allen, Cal Quantrill, James Paxton, who was retired but is back on Canada's roster. I think he pitched today. So JC out to center. Thomas has the catch.
When I think of James Paxton pitching that game in Seattle,
the
Eagle landed all over James Paxton. I give him a lot of credit. I would have been hitting the deck. That Eagle would have been flying anywhere number 19. You'd have seen me on the ground, Rich.
Marcy. We need a Great Britain player on the all-pool team. How about Nate Eaton, their center fielder?
Terrific hitting at the top of the order. Harry Ford started out with a bang in Pool B.
Who's your best reliever? Best 2 relievers.
Mason Miller. It's hard to look past Mason Miller. I mean, I know last night it was kind of territory he's not normally accustomed to pitching in, but it's hard to look past Mason Miller. He just stands out for me. There's nobody in this Pool B that throws 98 to 102 with a wipeout slider.
Greg Weissert.
Weissert was terrific.
How about Paul Skeens? Pasquantino
It's on the on-deck circle.
needs Marcy to get on base to go after a 4-homer game. He's the only player in World Baseball Classic history that has had a 3-homer game.
He's trying to do his best Reggie Jackson impersonation. World Series play, Mr. October against the Dodgers. As much espresso as Vinny has in that body right now, he's probably wanting to play a doubleheader right now. He'll be ready to go for game 2.
It's only happened 21 times in Major League Baseball history where players had 4 home runs. Were you present for any of those?
Never seen one in person. I've seen a few watching as a fan at home on TV.
I was present for Mike Cameron of the Mariners
In Chicago.
and the last at bat he hit a ball to the wall in center field, so he was close to 5. Well, he's going to get a shot at it.
Well, if he gets it, he's going to have to earn it, because Andres Munoz, as tough as there is in the game of baseball to square one up.
Nick Kurtz, the last to do it, and he did it here against the Astros for Sacramento.
He's ever going to crack to do it, it'd be right here. You would assume 2-0. He's going to get a fastball from Munoz. If there's ever time to dial one up, this would be the time to do it.
Schwarber did it in August of last year. He walks. Munoz. When's the last time you think he pitched in a 9-1 game?
Probably when he's trying to make a team out of spring training in the Cactus League. Get in innings work. It's tough to create that kind of mojo you're accustomed to pitching with when you're a guy that's high leverage in the 9th inning.
And to be honest with you, you really can't leave him out there much longer. He's thrown 18 pitches. You don't want him up in the upper 20s or lower 30s.
Yeah, I think that's the conversation Elmer Descends, pitching coach for Team Mexico, is having right now.
They do have a lefty up, JP.
A lot of respect to Munoz for being here to pitch for his country in the World Baseball Classic. Consider the Mariners made it all the way to Game 7 of the American League Championship Series, and sometimes you'll hear pitchers who are involved in the late stages of the postseason opt not to pitch in the Classic. Munoz is here for his country. Certainly a lot of respect for him.
Alexander Armenta. And you hear the phone ring. And the question's going to be, is he ready?
Yeah, I would assume the last thing you want to do is put Munoz's regular season in jeopardy. This will be probably the final hitter he sees. This will be his 20th pitch. Particularly when you're a late inning guy, you never like to come out of a game in the middle of an inning. You're so accustomed to walking off the field, getting that last out.
Busted bat, roller to short. Heel fires to first. 3 outs away. Italy has done it again. A 9-1 lead to the bottom of the 9th.
Not Rieti, Italy is a small town on a hilltop in the province of Le Marche on the Adriatic. It is the birthplace of the renowned poet Giacomo Leopardi, and also number 80 on the mound for Italy to potentially close out this first place finish in pool play. Gabriele Quattrini is on the mound. This journey for Italy began with the native Italian and Samuel Aldegheri from Verona starting game one. It could end with the native Italian on the mound in Quattrini here in game four.
JP, great stuff all night. Look forward to your interviews after this one. Alec Thomas against Quattrini. Cerna's on deck. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Magic number for Team Italy is 3. At times the most difficult 3 outs to get. Have quite a bit of breathing room though with an 8-run lead here, bottom of the 9th.
USA and Italy advancing. USA Friday night against Canada, and Italy against Puerto Rico Saturday afternoon here in Houston. D'Orazio imploring Quattrini to just pump in strikes. Thomas hits it right center field. Marcy.
Team Italy 2 outs away. About 3 hours ago, we were wondering how this thing would shake out. Team Italy with the days off, able to set that rotation. Michael Lorenzen shut down Team USA and Aaron Nola. Brilliant tonight for Team Italy.
And the hope for Team Italy is that they get to pitch again.
Those 2 guys you're looking at right there, 9 2/3 scoreless. 4 2/3 from Lorenzen and 5 scoreless tonight from Aaron Nola. Lots of smiles for those 2. Vinnie Pasquantino went for the trifecta, 3 home runs.
Cerna's first at bat in this ball game came in as a defensive replacement.
Look at that intensity still on Vinny. He knows he's been around long enough.
They've almost gone through that case of pods for the espresso machine in pool play. They may have to hit the local.
Something tells me that GM of Team Italy, Ned Coletti, will be on top of that. Whatever they need from here on. A little quick pitch.
A little too quick. Duran and Arozarena, top of the order. Italy 10 hits with their 9 runs. 4 more homers, 3 by Pasquantino. John Birdie also homering. They go through 4 games and hit 12 home runs in pool play. They get the out at first base.
Good hustle there by Durant, even though this game is out of reach, hustling it down to first base, not taking anything for granted. Like to see that. Easy thing to do when the game's out of hand. You just roll one over to the right side and you just trot down to first base. Love the effort here from Duran.
That even surprised Antonacci, who spun and thought he was going to have plenty of time. The Arozarena, down to their last out is Mexico. Italy last night put a big dent in Team USA, but with a win here, USA is in to the quarterfinals. And Italy has done something that Team USA has never done in the World Baseball Classic, and that's get through pool play undefeated.
Nine runs for Team Italy tonight, but they really broke this game open, Rich, in the fifth. A 2-0 game going to the fifth. Able to score 3 runs in the fifth to stretch that lead to 5-0, gave them some breathing room.
They had to hold on after an 8-0 lead last night shrunk to 8-6, and they did, getting judged at the end. Tonight, Mexico could not mount a comeback. Rosareda hits it hard. Fisher throws across. Ball game. Italy 4-0 into the quarterfinals, and Mexico has been eliminated.